Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Manchester City have just beat Crystal Palace 2-0 and it was absolutely lovely stuff. King, KUN, Aguero reigns supreme once again. What a game. What an emotional game of football. I'm definitely a little bit tired and run down, but I'm going to power on through this video because it's worth talking about today. Before I do this though, I want to say thank you to OneFootball, the wonderful OneFootball, the amazing OneFootball. Not quite as sweet as Sergio Aguero, but not far off. Go and download it in the link in the description below. As you can see on screen next to me, it's beautiful. It's got all the information, all the stats, and all the updates from the world of Manchester City that you need sent straight to your phone. And the best part, it costs absolutely nothing. It's free, so if you want to help support this channel, of course you do, while you're watching otherwise, go and click the link in the description below and get your daily dose of Manchester City goodness sent straight to your phone so you don't miss out on any of the big news from Manchester City. Go download it right now. Let's talk about this game. I'm just going to talk about this game generally. No structure at the bottom or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about this game broadly and what it means to Manchester City Football Club because it was good. It was satisfying. It was satisfying because games like this before have not been satisfying. And I guess it shows exactly what Guardiola said before. Whereas if we win with loads of changes, he's a genius. And if we don't, well, he's a fraud and all that kind of stuff. And today was one of those cases where flip of a coin whether he was actually a genius and we got it right. Of course there was loads of changes. Of course it was inevitable that we'd make loads of changes given the PSG game. I was expecting a relatively fragmented performance, and that's kind of what we got until that wasn't what we got. And what we got was a reminder of just how beautiful a certain man is. Sergio Aguero, wait, please don't. Did anyone else kind of feel sad when that goal went in? And I was obviously elated, but I also felt sad because what we got used to seeing, it made it feel so real that special innate talent that Sergio Aguero's got, that God-given talent, that brilliance, that right foot, that left foot, that head, that twist, those hips, the way he turns, all that could be, well, it was about to be gone. It made me kind of sad. That was my reaction to it, like happiness, but then immediately, oh no, we're never gonna, it's gonna be over soon. And I guess you don't realize what you've got until it's kind of until you're reminded of just how brilliant it is. But either way, I'm also gonna hold my hands up. There they are, they're up. I say I was a little bit wrong about Sergio. I do think in general his effectiveness is probably lessened in this Manchester City side, but I thought he didn't have a bit of sharpness left in him still. I thought he was going to go through games through the motions a little bit, and I do think at times in the first half what he was doing was nice but a little bit slow. But then the quality of that goal, and after that, he looked sharper. He looked more alert. He looked confident. He looked like he belonged in this team again. And I'm not saying he's going to change his game and be a big part, but I guess the point I'm making is there probably is more involvement for Aguero this season than I personally realise, and I couldn't be happier to be wrong. Genuinely, I don't suspect he'll probably even play against PSG, but if he did, come on, it probably wouldn't be unjustified given the fact that he's just shown today he could be very useful. I think it was very telling that Guardiola almost like pretend to knight him on the sideline in the celebrations. Sergio Aguero is a fantastic footballer, and one thing we saw today is that reminder of just how good his finishing is, just how natural a finisher he is, and how we've been missing that kind of quality for some time now. And who knows, man, maybe he'll play the rest of the Premier League games, maybe we'll win the Premier League, he'll score a bunch of goals. We're definitely going to win the Premier League, by the way. I'll get onto that in a bit. But maybe he'll score a bunch of goals. And maybe the dream scenarios is that we get to the Champions League final. And it's a big if, of course. And if we get there, he comes on and scores a winner. Are we allowed to dream about that? Is that potential? Is it possible? It could happen. Who knows, man? Either way, I do want to see Sergio on the pitch as much as possible towards the end of the season. And that's not just nostalgia. It's because, who knows, he could score a goal or two. And I want to see him... even if we won, even if we win the Champions League final and we're winning, I just want to see Aguero on the pitch. I want to see him involved, man. I want to see him involved because I love him. And I know I sound like a turncoat, but I never doubted his quality. I just doubted if he had the sharpness anymore. And I guess if he was ever going to be involved, because we were sticking to that false nine. But that was the best we've seen him in absolutely ages, and it was wonderful to see. Sergio, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and I'm so glad you've been ours. Hopefully, there's a few more twists and turns, classic Sergio, in his story at Manchester City. I also want to talk about Ferran Torres. I want to talk about his reaction to that goal. And I'm sorry, it shows everything I've said, in my opinion, was right. I got the Sergio thing wrong, but I was right about Ferran. He cried after he scored that goal. He cried. Young 21-year-old Ferran Torres was crying after scoring a goal. He's not crying just because he likes scoring goals, guys. He's crying because it's been difficult for him. How many times have I said in these videos that we need to cut him some slack? Now, I know most people have been doing that, but what I kept saying is that he's a young lad. He was 20 when he signed, and he signed during a global pandemic where basically he had to move to Manchester with Manchester shut down, basically. Nothing to do. Couldn't go out, explore the city. Couldn't go out and make new friends other than the ones he worked with. Couldn't visit them if he wanted to because he would have got in trouble by the paparazzi. He couldn't see his friends and family. He couldn't travel home to see his family. And then also as well, on top of that, he caught COVID and lost a lot of weight by his own admission. It's been difficult for him. Like, we forget that these are just humans, man. These are just people with feelings like the rest of us. And I know they're millionaires and I know they're lucky and all that kind of stuff. But still, life must be difficult when you go from being the star boy to struggling with your form and struggling with your health at one point, missing your family. I've struggled to live in Manchester despite having all my friends and family around and despite knowing that things will be all right over the past year. Even though I know this place because it's been horrible and it's been soulless. I can't imagine it's been much different for Ferran Torres. I know he's got friends and family at Man City, but they're still new people. I say family at Man City, I mean he's got friends at Man City, but they're still new to him and it's been difficult. And I think that celebration personally was relief and frustration flooding out, going, finally I've shown what I can do. And he played well. And the finish quality, like honestly, it was a high quality finish from a high quality player. Yes, he's had a tough season, but give this kid time. Give him some fans next season. Give him his family back. Give him time to settle in and we could see a very special player emerge because he's got so much innate talent. We know that. We've seen it before and his form hasn't been great, but don't doubt this kid. He's a brilliant young player. And I think today was very encouraging as well. Lively, work rate. I was very happy for him. Elsewhere, I thought there was a few good performances across the pitch. Fernandinho, give that man a new contract right now. Throw in Sergio's as well. Joking. But give that Fernandinho a new contract, man. Give him a contract because he was brilliant today, yet again, as he always is. I thought Mendy played well. Sergio mentioned him as well afterwards. This is the camera lens. I'm playing with that, by the way. Sergio mentioned Mendy afterwards, and rightfully so, because he's another that's had a tough time. He's another that'll probably feel a little bit... you probably relate to some of Sergio's frustrations. Not the same, but injuries-wise. You probably relate to Ferran's feelings of frustration about being on the sideline. He'll understand that it's tough to get into this team and injuries and all that kind of stuff. But he's had a tough time, basically, and he was good today. He was genuinely good. I thought he got an assist as well. I thought his link-up play was really intelligent. Yes, Townsend ran it in once and made it look a little bit difficult, but he was still fine. He was still fine. I think he had a good performance. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the first choice left back or anything like that anytime soon, but he was a backup. You can't get many better backups right now. He's totally fine. He's a decent player. That's what I'm saying. Probably not the long-term solution, but I've got to give him credit where it's due. Likewise, I thought Ake had a good game as well. Genuinely a good game, and Laporte alongside him both looked very switched on. And Cancelo was nearly very good. So many nearly passes today from Cancelo. His end product's not quite there, but so many decent potential moments, but still the end product wasn't fully there, but a decent performance. And Ederson, by the way, in goal, really, really good. Rodri, totally fine. And then Sterling, I thought Sterling was relatively encouraging, even though he was wasteful in front of goal as always. But I thought his attitude and his energy and his determination today was really, really on point. I honestly thought he looked okay. Like, not as bad as it, or as the thing is about Sterling, his finishing was frustrating. I'm not denying that. But in recent performances, he looked a bit pathetic. I know that's a really harsh word, but he was just running into people, falling over his own feet, and then running to the corner, and then just giving away a goal kick and stuff like that. Whereas at least he wasn't doing that today, man. At least he was a little bit more assertive. And even though his finishing wasn't there, though he was very close with a lovely first-time shot off the post as well. But even though he wasn't, like, at his best in front of goal, I don't think he was embarrassing today. I genuinely don't think he was when he has been down there. I know that's a low barometer, but I still think he was useful, and I'll take that. I'll genuinely take that. But overall, it was a slow first half, but I still think we were okay. I still think we were all right. And then, of course, in the second half, we were better when we find a bit of confidence. But that's what you're going to get, man, with essentially the B team. It's going to be rusty. It's going to be lacking a little bit of, like, I guess, finesse every now and then. But it doesn't really matter because we've got all those players on the bench. We got the job done. And tomorrow, we could win the Premier League. It's a weird one. I don't want to win it tomorrow. That's my crazy hot take. I want to win it when the players are on the pitch. I want to see them hug each other. I want to see Guardiola drop to his knees. I I want to see the realisation when we pick up the points next week against Chelsea potentially. I want Man City to not be sat at home in the living rooms. I want all the players to be there on the pitch so we can watch them celebrate, not behind the scenes footage. That's just my personal opinion. We're going to win the league anyway. What I want tomorrow is a draw. I want Liverpool's Champions League hopes to be messed up and then United to go 12 points behind with 12 left, knowing basically we won it if we get one more point. That to me is the perfect scenario. But of course, if we win it tomorrow, I ain't going to fucking complain because we won the league again. Life is absolutely brilliant. And today, City were good. We were functional. Lots of lovely little stories there. And we got the job done. And we're in good shape ahead of the PSG game. A PSG game, by the way, that kicked off today. I don't know what score it is now. Without Mbappe, but basically because of injuries, allegedly. And with a full-strength side because they have to try and win that game today. So they are in a different position to us today. We've rested players and things look good ahead of the game midweek. For now, though, a good performance. Sergio, you're absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much to my Patreon producer, Ahmed Al-Ali. Once again, there's a whole bunch of people I need to shout out for Patreon. If you're watching this, I will get you in tomorrow 5 Things Learned video. For now, though, you're all absolutely awesome. I'm knackered and exhausted. I'm very run down at the moment. I think I'm just overworked. But I'm glad I did this video because, Sergio, we needed to talk about you. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're all amazing too. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in a bit.